Hey guys, hi. Welcome to my channel. It's me, Steven. And there's Eleanor, who does not look, she always looks miserable. Doesn't she always look mean? She is not. So, how are you guys doing? I am great. Thank you very much. I've got some news to share with you. I got an email today that told me that I was pre-approved for a loan to buy a house. Me. A home for me and look how miserable she looks. There you go, honey. What was I saying? Eleanor did not want to hang out with me up here. I received an email today letting me know that I was indeed pre-approved for a loan to buy a house, to buy a home for me and my babies. I'm kind of still numb. I have cried a lot because you know how I like to cry. I cried a lot, all 100% gratitude and a little fear because I am completely naive as to what I'm doing. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm trusting the people who are helping me. I'm trusting my higher power, who I call Hey You. I'm doing a lot of research online, but there is a first-time home buyers course online. I think it's free, that I'm supposed to take. I think if I want to take part in an FHA loan. I don't know a lot, but I'm learning. So this has been a journey that I really didn't know I was on. You know, I had this fantasy in my head, but it wasn't going to happen because I'm not disciplined enough to save money. I'm just not. I don't make enough to save money. I just didn't feel that way. And then just before COVID started hitting, I realized, you know, like I'm buying like stupid shirts I'm not going to wear twice. And I realized like I'm eating out almost every day. I'm spending like $20 a day on food. I'm Ubering to work and back and forth for each of my trips. I was hemorrhaging money and I wasn't making a lot of money. So I was like penniless, right? And I'm 51 years old, working full time, and to be this broke felt just stupid, right? So even before this COVID stuff started happening, I started sort of saving money and just not spending it, not going to TJ Maxx and Marshalls all the time, you know, and avoiding Target. But, you know, I do go to Walmart fairly often, mostly for cat treats. But so I started just noticing that my bank account was just kind of creeping up slowly, kind of like my YouTube channel has been growing very slowly over the years. And then COVID struck, right? And I just stopped spending money because there was nowhere to spend it, right? So I was like shocked. I was eating home every day. I was making all of my own meals. Once in a great while, I would hit Subway, but very rarely. And the stores are all closed, and I need nothing except for cat treats. You know, it's all I really need. So I discovered myself saving a substantial amount of my paychecks. And then the unemployment, I took unemployment for May, and the $600 additional money that came from that, I just threw that all in the bank. And then just slowly but surely, that bank account started growing a little bit more each time. The only financial hit I would have taken was when I dropped a trip recently, but one of my subscribers was amazing and helped me out. And so I wasn't gonna be financially suffering because of my good deeds and taking care of those kittens. You know, I mean, really, that's the kind of subscribers I have. I have no idea how I deserve them. But so over the past, I don't know what, 6 months, 7, 8 months, I've been able to save up enough money where I realized, like, I'm paying my rent to pay somebody else's mortgage on this building, right? If you remember, boy, this video is all over the place. I'm so sorry. But if you remember me talking, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months ago, maybe longer, I had this wild hair that I was thinking I would rent a larger apartment because I want more room for the cats and more room for me, because I'm kind of getting tired of sacrificing every inch of my apartment to the cats. As much as I'm happy to do it, there is a small resentment. What are you chewing on? And in my mind, I was like budgeting myself $1,000, $1,200 for rent, which is throwing money out the window, right? So having this money saved up, and I happened to fall upon on YouTube, you know how you just start clicking through stuff? I happened to watch a video called something, the channel is like Vegas Gal or the Vegas Gal, and she's a Las Vegas realtor. And then she had a special guest, Amber Coleman, who is a lender, a mortgage lender. And I was just started watching them because I loved their dynamic and how they were talking. I wasn't really thinking I'd be able to buy a house, because that's not going to happen. It couldn't happen to me. And I was just watching them because I enjoyed their banter, and I really enjoyed Lacey, who is the Vegas Gal, just the way she spoke and her anachronisms, and I just really enjoyed watching her, as some of you enjoy watching me, even though you're not interested in flight attendant life, right? Well, I sort of started watching and then listening to some of the things they were saying, and they were talking about how people like me, with my income, could potentially own a home. And the reasons you want to do that. And they're telling me like, well, there's tax benefits, and you're putting money towards your own equity rather than paying for somebody else's mortgage and all these things. And I'm thinking, this makes sense. This makes sense. But I don't know if I could potentially, like, my credit score, blah, blah, blah. And so I just, on a whim, after watching every one of Amber's videos, she has her own video YouTube channel, I kind of fell in love with her, like a little girl crush on Amber and Lacey. I contacted Amber and spoke with her about, briefly, about my hopes, kind of my little fantasy of home ownership. And she asked me a couple simple questions, and she's like, oh yeah, no problem, you're good, you're golden. And I'm like, I don't know. And so, you know, I spoke with her and I sent them my tax records for the past couple of years, my W-2s, pay stubs, what else? Bank records, and my credit score. They looked at my credit score, and my credit score is not good. I have a 6. They get 3, and they choose the middle one. So my best one was 690. My middle one was 665. My worst was 650. So it's not great credit, but it's okay, right? I mean, it's taken me 18 years to get here. So today, she sent me an email saying that indeed I was pre-approved for $200,000. Now, again, that may not seem like a lot of money, and that's fine, because I really don't want to become indentured for the rest of my life to an inanimate object, you know. So I don't need a $500,000 house. It's me. Oh, wow! Did you hear that? If you didn't, wind that back and listen. That was a meow from Claire. She's like practically silent. She never makes a noise. That's crazy. So yeah, $200,000. My hope is to get a small single family. It clearly will have to be a fixer-upper because that's my budget. There are a ton of townhouses. Most of them are kind of crappy, but there's a ton of townhouses in Vegas. So Amber told me, this video is all over the place, I'm so sorry. And I feel like I'm manic right now. Amber told me that with my maximum allowance for money, the loan is $200,000. And I don't want to go to the maximum. I really don't. But if I did, my estimated monthly payment would be $1,074. Just an estimate. It seems like an oddly specific estimate, but $1,074, and that would include like mortgage insurance and the payment for that loan and taxes. And I'm like, $1,074 is roughly just a little bit less than twice my current rent, which is cheap. My rent is very, very low right now. But it's money towards equity in myself. And she said there's tax benefits of owning a home and being a first-time home buyer. There's tax benefits as well, which I really never think about, you know. There were just so many reasons to do it. So she set me up with Lacey's group, her realty group. And I've been talking with Rachel, my realtor. I have a realtor. Now, if you've been, I feel like I'm totally manic. I feel kind of high right now, but you know I'm not. If you've been with me for a while, and many of you have, you know that my journey through this becoming a flight attendant this past 3 years, 3.5 years, has been tumultuous financially, you know, because I was stone cold broke. Oh my goodness. The first year. The second year wasn't much better. The third year got much easier. Still not luxury, but I just never thought I would get here. I was talking with Rachel today, who is my realtor, and we're going to meet on Tuesday, and she's going to show me a couple places. So my homework for the weekend, she said, is to go through this app, MLS or something, to look at options. I've already looked, and I've like highlighted a whole bunch of them. I went crazy, but I have to delete all those and kind of be more focused and choose 10 properties. 10 because, you know, some of them we might not be able to get into, or some might be in contract or under contract or whatever. So just to look at a few houses so I can get an idea of, she can get an idea of what I really, I say that I want and what I really want, you know, because I think as a realtor, she can sort of differentiate my fantasies from my realities, you know, because as a good salesperson, that's what I would do. Yeah, so are you shocked? I'm shocked. I cried. I cried so hard when I read that that email when she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry we didn't get back to you sooner, but yeah, you're pre-approved." Crazy. So I have saved up enough money for the minimum down payment for an FHA loan. That's 3%. And I have a little bit more, just a tiny bit more. And my hope, this is another fantasy, because my hope is that this process takes a little while. I'm not in a rush. I don't have to get out of this apartment. I rent by the month. My lease is finished. I rent by the month, so I can just leave whenever I want to. What I would like to happen is have this process take a little while so I can really suss out my options, find out what I really can do, and find the right place for me, and not just jump into the first thing that looks right. And then while that's happening, continue to save money. Now, I was able to put $1,000 aside last month. Now, I'm hoping to continue to try to do, if not that, something like that for the next couple months, because I want to buy a car. I haven't really, I've wanted a car for the past couple of years. A car would make my life easier, infinitely easier, just infinitely easier. Because I'll tell you, the bus in Las Vegas is not sexy and it's not very productive. But having a car and insurance and maintenance and the neighborhood I live in right now is not very nice. And the parking area in my complex is not gated, and it just seems every other night, every few nights, someone's car is being broken into and vandalized. And so I just didn't think that I would buy a car. It didn't make much sense, especially with as little I was actually going to use it, since I'm on a bus line right to work. It cost me $2 on the bus to get to work. So I would hardly use a car enough to make sense to spend that much money. But now, if I want to buy a house and I want to have a choice with my limited budget, I'm going to have to look at all of Las Vegas, not just what's next to the airport, as was my initial thought. So I'm going to have to buy a car, in addition to a house, which is crazy. I haven't owned a car since the van I used to live in. That 3.5 years ago. My hope is that over the next few months to continue to save up money in the event that I don't find the right house right away, and to find a super cheap, what do they call it? A beater, just in order to get to work. And can I get another hug? Can I get another hug? Oh, can I get another hug? Hi. Are you going to look happier? No. Here, down on my lap. Just to get a cheap beater, just to be able to get to and from work. And that would allow me to have a broader range and more of a selection when it comes to buying a house. So I am over the moon. And you know, once again, this video is longer than I thought. How often do I say that, right? Once again, I don't think this would have been possible without you guys. Just emotionally, the support that I get from you guys is crazy. There are a few of you who have really helped me financially. One subscriber in particular, and I would call her a friend. One person has really been an enormous help in ways I can't even just. Oh, wow! She just scratched my leg bad. This one person one friend really helped me out enormously over the past year. I just couldn't have done this, I don't think, without you guys. And I'm just super grateful. And you know, I'm going to film every bit of this as much as I can. So that you guys can go along with me on this journey as you have with me as being a flight attendant and a cat dad. So I'm super excited, and I hope you are too. I know you're happy for me. I know you are, because you guys are so full of love and so full of caring and good well wishes. You're the best. When people, I know I keep talking, right? When people, friends of mine find my channel, and they'll watch some of the videos, and then they'll read some of the comments below, and they always tell me, oh my God, Stephen, these people are wonderful. And I'm like, I know, I don't deserve them. So thank you for coming with me on this journey. I'm really looking forward to it. What I'm gonna try to do is practice patience, love, and tolerance with myself. Because I'm anxious to get out of this situation that I'm in right now, but I also know that I really need to be patient, be methodical, and learn as much as I can about the process before I get too deep in it, right? So I don't walk into this blind. I do trust my lender, and I trust the realty group. I don't know my realtor at all, but I trust Lacey, the woman, Vegas gal. I trust her and her group. I really do. And I have a higher power that I don't talk about very often. And I do want to get a little... I didn't think I was going to get emotional. I do have a higher power. And you know, some of you know that I call them Hey You. And this past year, I've leaned on that higher power more than I ever have, and since early sobriety, and it seems to be working, which is kind of contrary to my normal beliefs. So it's nice. It's really a good time. So leave a comment, hopefully supportive. Why would you say anything other than and I'll talk to you guys later. And certainly I will bring you along with me on Tuesday when I go to look at some houses. How exciting, right? All right, so I will talk to you guys later. Thank you again for joining me, and fly safe. Bye.